boy. Oh. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, guys. Hopefully, everyone hears me loud and clear. Hello, Salvage. Everything good? Is there a little bit of a music in the background now? Hi, Florian. How you doing, my man? There we go. Is the background music too loud, too soft? Do I need to turn it up a little bit? Hello, Wowzer. Glad to see you. Oh, why? You actually don't hear it? Oh, okay, perfect. Well, let's see. Since I directly live stream from YouTube, just from the YouTube app, I can't really add in background music yet. So I just gotta have like my man ASO Productions tunes playing in the background. Turn it up a little bit. Hopefully it sounds pretty decent, but wait a little bit. Let some more people come in. Ooh, it's some sort of like Avatar Korra remix currently. So I don't want it to be like blaring. I just want it to be a nice little beat in the background so it's not like deafening silence. Because when I reviewed the last live stream, it was kind of like a little bit of a deafening silence in the background. So yeah, so we'll give a few more minutes here and wait for a few more people to join, and then we'll just go ahead and get started. Today, I'm going to whip out an old favorite here, and then my man, trusty member Salvage, wanted to see the Dopple Warrior combo. Wow, hey, he's gonna Bluebird should be on in this playlist actually. I enjoy this guy. I go through and through all my non-copyright music. I could just like go through Epidemic Sounds like Winter Kills does, and get all those like fancy beats, but I need my weeb anime music. So, so today I'm probably going to showcase a little bit of a old fan favorite here, and then later on I'm probably going to showcase a Doppel Warrior combo for my man Salvage. So stick around for that. Until then, we're just going to do some test hands, do a little discussion with you guys, and go on from there. So anyway, we're just going to be waiting for a few more people to show up. Okay. All right. Welcome, welcome, everybody. I just got a message from my wife, so I had to check it because I had to make sure I wasn't getting yelled at. But yeah, so let's just go ahead and whip out Old Faithful here. We'll make sure to keep this up here so I can show the combo near the end of the live stream. I don't know if we'll be live streaming really like a long time today, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. I got a few things I gotta do. Hopefully, starting next week, I will be able to do a little bit later live streams, if that makes a little bit of sense. Um, just so that I can, live stream a little bit later. I like live streaming later at night because it's more of like my prime time. So, Old Faithful guys, here you go. Here's a hint of what it's going to be. It's Appaloosa. So, hopefully that doesn't give it away. But it seems like it's going to be Fire Fist. Yeah, so we're going to play some Fire Fist today, do some test hands. This is not Tri Brigade Fire Fists. I just don't like that. I don't like Tri Brigade Fire Fists, I'll be honest with you. Right now, it is 127 for me, Wowzers, over here in the lovely, beautiful, empty state of Nebraska. So, uh, I just don't like the Tri-Brigade in this deck. There's a reason why the most popular build of Tri-Brigade is the Lyrilisk and not Fire Fist, because it just turns us into a Tiger Loop Dot deck, and I don't like that. I like having the versatility. So we'll just go from there. Ooh. But anyway, how's everybody doing today? Hello, hello, Stellari. I'm not even going to try to pronounce your first name. Gigori. How are you doing today? Welcome to the live stream. We're going to hopefully do some test hands today, do some discussions. I actually had a man at Spank YuGiOh did a Twitter post last night that said, like, we need to be more open about our personal lives, and I totally agree. Doing swell. Are you swell, Wowzer? Hitting the gym? Because that's something I need to do. This Rona's got me so out of shape, I walk up my stairs and I'm, like, out of breath. Fire Fist Tri-Brigade? No Tri-Brigade in this list, just Fire Fist in itself. Not a huge fan of the Tri-Brigade added into this, and all my Tri-Brigade stuff is lent out to my man Ferg, who is waiting for Rescue Cats to start testing Bird Up. But we'll see here what we get here. All right, so new addition to the deck that I've been testing, kind of in the side. Like, I picked this deck up, played it for like 2 days, and then haven't touched it since, so let's see here. Thoughts on Sun Avalon? So, Evan Albright, my thoughts on Sun Avalon are actually quite crazy. I think that deck has huge potential and that it will be the next Dozer controller Earth Machine deck, because once plants get that Link 4, that deck can inherently put out like the Link 4 Knight looking plant monster that's a compulse, and then they can put out like the big Willow Tree that lets you have that like skill drain like card. So it's going to be a lot like Dozer control, I think. I'm actually planning on picking up both Starry Knight and Sun Avalon, and we hopefully on this channel be able to showcase a versus match. So, but I'm excited for Starry Knight. I know a lot. So that's something about Starry Knight. Just the people who play Starry Knight just kind of crack me up, because like, let's go and do this. The Starry Knight, they're like, this deck does nothing. But like, if I describe to you what Starry Knight does without using the name Starry Knight, it would be described what Altergeist does. And I just think that's so. I think that's so funny. Foolish Barrel good. It does. It really does. It is a sad pity that it's like the design and the concept and the gimmick are really cool, and it was just like Konami just needed to like make Flamel be like a little bit more broasted, which is broken and busted. New word today. We needed to make. Oh, what else do they need to make? Like everything in the deck is kind of like fair and good, but it just doesn't do enough. But yeah, like that's one thing. Like I was watching videos, everyone's like, Starry Night doesn't do anything, and I'm like, it does. If I describe to you, like, I'll go ahead and do it. All right, so here we go. It has a gimmick. It's good at doing one thing, and that's summoning a monster that does a disruption. It has monsters that search its own themed spell or trap. It has monsters that get out its win condition, and then it slows the game down by playing floodgates. Right there, I just described to you Altergeist. Altergeist use Multi-Faker to summon out Siliquitus for a bounce. They have Marionetter that can search, and then they have like a Searcher, which is the Cinder Milliseek. And then they have themed spell and traps that negate stuff, which, again, now flip it over, Starry Night has the exact same thing. The entire deck theme is to summon out the White Dragon and pop a card. The entire deck, Rayel, I think, searches the spell and traps. We have spell and traps that work with the theme of the deck. We actually have, like, what's that protocol? Protocol that says, negate if your opponent monster activates an effect, send a Altergeist, and then you negate its effects, right? We have a Starry Night Blast that does the same thing but bounces the dragon back to the hand. So, in my opinion, the deck does just about the same thing as Altergeist does, but Altergeist has a little bit more consistency or a little bit more cards for it. Watch Holy Knights are going to get a card like Double. Yeah, right. I wish, wowzers. I wish. What up, Broke Duelist? Yeah, I truly wish they would. That new card they're getting in. So I called it when the deck was first released. I was like, we're going to get 2 more Angels. And we got that one that's like bounces back. And that one's a good start, but not the best start. If it was a quick effect, we'd be going places, but it's sadly not. Okay, so Elephant, which is my favorite card in the deck. Send Tinky for cost. We get Impermed, we cry, but we're not going to get Impermed. We summon here. Effective here to grab us. Do we grab us? I think since we hard open Dome, we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves the... Where's it? Buffalo. All right, maybe not. No, we're not going to grab Buffalo. I think we grab Dragon, and then we use this effect to shuffle back Tinky, and then we grab ourselves the Eland. There we go. Link here for Eagle. There we go. So then we use Eagle's effect to bounce the Tensu back. That's why Foolish Barrier of Goods is really good in this deck. And we Foolish the Buffalo. There we go. So then we'll go ahead... Let's see. We'll go and activate Tensu to get our additional normal summon of the dragon. YuGiOh, the ban list is referred to as the prison list. Yep. They had like the first ban list was, I believe, emergency ban list. Correct me if I'm wrong. So then we do use Dragon's effect to Monster Reborn right there. We then can use the effect here to get us... I think we go for Engine. Or technically, we could probably go for... Yeah, we'll go for Engine. Go ahead and set there. Hey, may have Infernoble, but he is playtesting Fire. Yep, I'm just playtesting Fire Fist now. I will be showing, because that's why Dopple Warrior here is. One of my members wanted to see the Dopple Warrior combo, so I'm just going to show it to all of us. It's not, in my opinion, it's cool, but it's not like the best combo. But it is pretty cool for what it does. It allows us to play like Metal Marcher and stuff like that. There's like that new Lavavel Synchro 8, I think. That's a pretty cool card. Have you been... I've been main Dark Ruler, no more, and destroying boards. Kirika, yeah, that's right. That's the way to do it, my man. The second effect, the Yatagarasu returns the hand at the end of your turn. That's because it's a spirit, if I remember right. So we do this, set that. I think this is where we go ahead and activate Dome. We ritual summon these guys here. Dragon's effect will trigger, getting us the Cento. And then we will use Buffalo's effect Engrave to see this. Let's see here. Yep. So we will sack off these two for cost to summon out here, and then Dragon will summon itself out. There we go. Now we will use Dragon to bring back the Rooster. Interesting. We might not even have to fusion summon here, which is okay. We will then turn these two into the Barren Blossom. We then can activate Engine, but we won't fuse. There's no need to fuse here. Use Rooster's effect to send Engine to set... Let's see here. Let's go ahead and grab another Tinky for a follow-up. Engine will add back Dragon. Dragon will We'll use Baron Blossom, Summon Dragon, Dragon Effect to summon out. We can go here. We then can. So I see if we go boom, 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 we can go to Appaloosa. But we still, like, Appaloosa would not be protected during the battle phase. So that might be where. And see, I don't think we play a Link 3. Yeah, I don't think we play a Link 3. So we could overlay for Tiger King, but that wouldn't do us no good. It's almost just worth plopping all these into a giant Appaloosa, I think. Go to an app for 4. App for 4. There we go. Baron Blossom effect draws as a card. Put back a card. So there we go. So technically speaking, we have 5 monster negates and a spell and trap negate, which is not too shabby. The only bad thing is that if we fire off Appaloosa too much, they can just attack over it, but that's where Elin comes in play. And then for a following turn, or follow-up for that turn, is we're drawing Tensu, which is not awful, but we do have the ability to kind of follow up with this coming back. But, and then we have the Tinky too, so we're pretty well set, to be honest with you. Not too shabby, not too shabby. For Fire Fist, I guess. Not too bad indeed. Go ahead and wrap it up here and go into the next one. I know a lot of people love this deck. This deck is a fan favorite for sure, and I built this. This was my quarantine deck that I just picked up when we were all supposed to be in quarantine, but since I'm a frontline worker, I didn't actually get to have like a successful like quarantine from work sort of thing, so I had just bought this deck and started playing it and really enjoyed it. Took it to a locals and got first, I believe. I haven't done that for a while now. I don't think I would take it now to our locals because I think it would just get savaged. But it definitely is a good fun deck to sit around and kind of like mess with that brain and everything. To play solitaire with, as some would say. Ooh. But anyway, how's everybody doing today for the new people joining into the live stream? I hope everyone is safe and having a good day. Wowzers. This is crazy. I am planning on buying Infernoble since I think the playstyle is nice, the deck is strong, but I wanted to ask you. Yes, 100%. Infernobles are amazing. I really cannot stress that enough. There's a reason why I've like started. That's my main deck for this format, just simply because the deck is resilient. And can it play through hand traps? 100%. The deck practically can play through 3 interruptions with just without connector, and then you add in connector, you can see your hand. It's just truly remarkable. Like the deck has multiple ways to do anti-Nibiru and anti-hand trap boards. So are you a software engineer? I wish, Alex. If I was a software engineer, I would be making so much money. I'm a travel nurse, and I did not want to choose this. I'm in a profession I did not want, sadly. Yes, and technically the deck is, as soon as you make Isolde, so it's like any 2 warriors, you have 1 card combos, 2 card combos. As soon as you make Isolde, you just can combo off. The deck is crazy consistent. I think it's oh gosh, it's maybe 1 out of every like 30 hands you might get a handful of like equipped spells or that's unplayable. For the first time it did so badly. 5 equips going first. 7 sins, it does happen. The only way you can get away with that is if you don't want to play like the Power Tool version that I play and you play less than that. But I just don't like that variant at all. I just don't like it. Just not my cup of tea. But the deck is super resilient. Ugh. There we go. Almirage. Go ahead and well, no shoot. I think I have to do it this way. This is one of the bad things about one of the good and bad things about Panda This deck was so close to being busted if Panda did not have a restriction. I actually do like this format. I really do. I hate Zeus and I hate Eldritch, but, you know, it's doable. Only 3 games out of 9 I was able to actually go full combo was really bad, but I need to fix up work on it. Yeah, sometimes, like, you just gotta... Yeah. In my opinion, that... So you always want to see access to connector or see, like, some form of to get to his old. The good thing about the deck is if you don't get access to connector to see the hand, you can just summon connector or summon the dolphin off of the Isolde and look at the opponent's hand. The deck's truly resilient and really powerful. Just a handful of warriors you should be able to play through, and as long as one of those warriors is like Oliver, that's a tuner extender, you can play through such powerful hand traps. The deck really only loses hard to Imperm, to be honest with you. But even then, the same combos that you use with Herald to set up to like look at your opponent's hand and set up an anti-Nibiru Herald, you can use that the same way to set up the anti-Imperm hand. Tinky. Activate Tinky, grab us Elephant, trigger Panda in hand, Panda effect. Link 2. Elephant. Oh, goodness. Raven effect, because Raven's not a once per turn. We will go ahead. Now we're locked into Fire Fist. That's what makes this definitely... When will the live streams be? Dally, the live streams are just kind of spontaneous currently. And welcome to all the new people. I just realized we have a whole bunch of new people. Live streams just kind of spontaneous and built around my work schedule. Like I said, I'm a travel nurse, so I've been working up on I don't know if any of you guys are familiar, Pine Ridge Reservation, Indian Reservation. I've been contracted up there for quite some time, and I normally get multiple days in a row off, but sometimes it's not the same days in a row. So my goal is to try and live stream at least twice a week, and I want to start trying to live stream early today, like right now. Which deck do you advise aren't fun deck? I think they aren't a fun deck. So first off, I would say Infernoble is really fun, but that's my opinion. I would say play whatever you want. I think, heck, go play Satellar Knights. Nothing brings as much joy as watching an Eldritch board set a whole bunch of stuff, and then like you force them to kind of use everything, and then you make Trevere and bounce everything to the hand. I think that is just get them in a Trevere loop. You can't beat them. So I almost actually did buy my collector's rare of Gearfried. Because it's only like $50, believe it or not, but I need to buy it now while it is $50. It's just I needed to buy a bunch of stuff because I do plan on bringing in a Holy Knight deck profile, so I had to pick up some miscellaneous stuff for that. But I think my next purchase will be that, and then I'm actually getting ready to put out another mat. And since live stream is here, and all the people who catch this after the stream, the new mat's going to be a 2-player only mat, and I cannot decide yet how I want it, but it's going to be in one corner. We're going to have either Spatha or Equimax, and then in the other corner we're going to have Galatea or Dingirsu, and it's going to be like this really cool, like open, kind of like a Spellground like mat, no full art or anything. That's the plan. So let's see here. We'll go ahead and activate Tensu, get our additional normal summon of Elephant. We can use Elephant's effect to pay costs because we want to summon out here. We can then use Eagle, bounce back Tensu to send... Let's go ahead and send... Let's see here. Let's send ourselves the Rooster, I believe. We have to do that. No, we don't. Yeah, we do. No, we don't. I don't think so. I can't remember what we got to do. And then we can use this effect to shuffle this back. But anyway, I totally got off track here. So live streams will be twice a week, hopefully, as I feel. Water Kaiju with the Waterfront in Crusadia. Not currently, Alex. I currently moved to a going second list, which I tested yesterday with one of my members, Jan, to get kind of in it. There is a little bit more tweaking I need to do to the list before I showcase it. I might go ahead and just showcase the kind of skeleton list now. But the deck still, I think that currently right now with the amount of hand traps, like 6 to 12 hand traps running around, the best way to do is get that extra card for going 6th and just try to play that way. But anyway, live streams will be twice a week. As long as my schedule is permitting, I will do a live stream, hopefully one during like the day, so I can reach all my European and other UK brethren, so that they can watch at a decent time, and then I'll hopefully do one later in the evening, so that our American people who normally work at this time over here can catch it. Better go first, go second. I think it's better to go second, and the reason I say that is because, um, just like I said, there's it's the deck is a glass cannon is the best way to put it. It's not that resilient to hand traps. If you go off, and you go off well, you win. But if you're interrupted, you don't. That's where like playing the go second is just kind of like, in my opinion, better because you get an additional card. You're playing such powerful blowout cards that all you got to do is get to Echo Max to one punch. And if they do happen to not have any monsters, you go Codebreaker combo and you put up enough damage alone to OTK. And then always the problem that Crusadia had was that if you did not get the OTK and your opponent had like such recursion, like you were almost destined to lose. The going first boards were very suboptimal as far as just Echo Max Pass or Avermax Pass. And right now, my current list is like built to, because you got to remember, despite the popular belief of if you stop LP, Crusadia Guard Dragon fumbled, if you stop Magius from getting you Maximus and you can't do double battle damage, your going second strategy is just out the window. So it just allows us to break boards or punch for a lot of damage and then set up a kind of more than just Echo Max pass so that we can keep the opponent at bay. So like Apollosa for 2 or 3, then Echo Max kind of. All right. Dragon brings back Rooster. Rooster gets us this, and then Rooster will set this for us. Would you take Avermax? No, I would not. Not in Crusadia, because Avermax just has way too much synergy with the deck over access code. Because Avermax can be protected by power versus where access code cannot. And then on top of that, if they remove access code, nothing happens. If they remove Avermax, Avermax gets the last say in the matter, conveniently. So then let's see here. We'll go ahead and go here. We're locked into Fire Fist. I gotta remember that. Here, fusion here. Go here. Thinking. I just gotta think. Since we are locked into Fire Fist, that means I cannot go. Effect of this. Sack these two off. Summon Buffalo. Buffalo brings back the dragon. Overlay here for Tiger King. Tiger King will grab us Fortress. Fortress is there. Liang Peak. I remember the first locals I took this to, I called it the Battle of Liang Peak. It was, you can't really see it. So we'll just go ahead and activate it here. Liang Peak. Then we can use this guy again to revive here. Use the effect to set engine. We then can use engine, fusing these two for Swan. Swan burns for 2. That's time in the round, and you go. So that's about as best as we can do with being locked into Fire Fist. Conveniently. So my man Broke Duelist, I am using an iPad Pro 2020. So this is going to be very interesting. This is something, so motivational speech to all my listeners right now. I run everything from my YouTube, my editing, my website, all that stuff is run from an iPad. So you do not need no expensive $5,000 PC. You do not need no expensive setup, given an iPad Pro is not exactly the cheapest thing. But you don't need all the fancy stuff. You can run a YouTube, run everything practically from your phone. So just do keep that in mind. Don't let, if you want to start a YouTube and you guys want to start your own channels, don't be dismayed by the, I need to have like a fancy laptop or fancy computer. No, guys, you guys can do it. Playing for Knowles, competitive on a budget since I'm still a student and I don't have much money to spend. I guess it depends what your budget is. For the most part, I would say you would need Gearfrieds and Renaults, and you need Durandals. You don't have to play access code, and everything else after those cards are pretty affordable. So if you can get Renauds and Gearfrieds, you only need one Gearfried, and you just need 3 Renauds, and then the entire deck is practically pretty cheap after that. So your budget's around 100, 150. I think you could do that. The most expensive card in the extra deck is access code, 100%. Access code is the most expensive card. I think Renauds are 12 to 15s, and then one Gearfried I think is 12 to 15. So if you have $100, that could get you that, and then all the other stuff is super cheap. I think maybe Durandal might be that there, but you can get away with playing. You can technically get away. You shouldn't. You should try to save up and get Durandal as soon as possible, but you can get away with playing 1 to 2 Durandal. The extra deck is super cheap. Hulk is expensive. I totally forgot about Hulk. You can play all gas. You don't need hand traps. If you did 150 would be your max. I think you could do it on that budget alone. Everything else you might be kind of getting by for. You have to have Hulk to combo, sadly, because for some reason Konami made the Infernobles unable to make Charles. Oh, you drew Hulk? Ooh, well there you go. But they made Infernobles unable to make Charles pretty easy, so you need the Auroradon tokens and everything to do so. But it is possible. Get some music. Hey man, you already pulled better than I have been able to ever pull. If I can use simple English today. My pull rate, I've actually decided that from now on I'm going to start opening all my packs and stuff live, so that everyone can witness how much bad luck I truly have. We have and also, since a lot of my live stream guys are here, what do you guys think of? So I have a friend returning to Yu-Gi-Oh. He's trying to learn to play Dragon Link, and he's been coming over every other night or so learning the deck. What do you guys think of maybe setting up our live streams to be live stream the match? And you can just kind of put an input if you're familiar with Dragon Link, ask questions. It'd help him learn, and by having more eyes, so like I'm not a Dragon Link player by any means. I always profited. Hey man, broke duelist. Some people are like that. It's actually a science. I've broken it down, and it's been proven. If you are a casual player, your pull rate is significantly better than those that are a competitive player. I have a friend at my locals. His name is Sebastian. We call him Dream Daddy. His name now is Moses, because he is supposed to be telling our local shop to let his boys play. Kind of like, Moses said, let my people go. So he's always been a casual player. He pulls are amazing. He actually goes to events, and even if he loses, he still wins because he comes back with like $1,000, $1,100 every time. However, he ended up making top 8 this last box tournament, and we have yet to see if his pull rate has gone down, and I haven't heard him be like, yo, I pulled something good. So the saying is, top 8, screw your pull rate. You're not going to pull bad. So confirmed theory, definitely been studied. I would even argue and say it's more for sure than the theory of evolution. The theory of casual and competitive player is 100% more confirmed. Yeah, that would help me learn how to play for a month. So awesome. Okay. I'll definitely talk to him about it. He's kind of nervous, so he doesn't really like to, he doesn't say much, but he wants to get better. He's dropped a lot of money into the deck, and he's just played Blue Eyes forever, and Blue Eyes is kind of like as simple as it gets. So it'll definitely help him, and it just would give you guys some pretty decent content to watch. And like I said, there's 15 of us now. 15 times, I'm not even going to do that. 2 times 15 is like 20, 30 eyes or something like that. Shinshin, Borreload, and Herald without using Power Tool. Shinshin, I don't know. I think so because there's just so much value. I just don't think you would go Power Tool. Maybe you would go Shooting Riser, I think. Thanks for doing this. Legends, one of the few play this deck, golly. Hey, my man Leo, I wouldn't even say that. I'm not that good but I do enjoy the deck. It is a deck that I love to solitaire about. I do enjoy the thought process that gets put into it. I just wish, like, again, I wish Pando did not have that restriction. Otherwise, it would be phenomenal. Phenomenal. They need to give us a in-themed Fire Fist XYZ monster that's the level as Panda, or that can be smacked on a rank 4 XYZ and give us like a compulse like card or something that says send a fire formation, bounce a card. Like just give us something more, Konami. That's all. That's all that we truly need is just something a hair more. Because all the support for this deck was really good. Even Panda being so restrictive, like I read Panda, I'm like, okay, it restricts us, but like the card is such recursion and has like a protection effect. And it's so versatile by either extending your combos or by having a follow-up on the next turn that I just can't bring myself to not play it at all. Sack. Summon. Effect. I think this, and this is one of the weaker openings that the deck has. Because we technically can't use the elephant to search because we have to have something to bounce back for the for the eagle. Okay, we'll go ahead and go here. Elephant is 100% my favorite card in the deck. Not even gonna lie. But for those who are just joining, at the near the end of the live stream, I'm going to do a Dopple Warrior combo for Infernobles and just kind of showcase you guys. Just kind of the beginning of it. If you guys want to see it in more detail, I highly recommend checking out, again, The Worst Duelist. He goes into detail with this. So check him out on YouTube, The Worst Duelist, and you'll see the full combo. But I'll just showcase like what you need to do it. But Eagle. Yo, Dark Crusade, what's up? Okay. Eagle, bounce back, Tinky. And I think this is where we go Dragon because we open Monster Reborn. This hand's going to be kind of weak, I think. Kind of weak. Reborn back this. Effect to Reborn here. Yeah, this is not looking too good in the hood, I believe. Effect, we're going to go ahead and set. Engine. Trying to think on how we can scavenge out of this. Engine is set. I can... Oh, goodness, I'm gonna... Yeah, this is not looking that good. Let's see here. I can activate engine to... Not fusion. We're not going to fusion summon because I think that Elan's just better. We're going to grab Cento. So then... Cento set. Yeah, I think we don't have much of an option but to go Dome, do this, summon Eland. I think that's all we got to do, so we kind of have to pass on just Eland and a Cento and an Ash. So, I mean, that's technically 3 interruptions, but most decks can play through that. The only difference is that with Eland, we can actually use his effect to destroy, like, Engine to negate, and then add back the Rooster for a follow-up so that we could, like, normal the Rooster, use Rooster's effect to send Dome, and Dome's effect will trigger bringing back Dragon. Dragon can reborn, and then we can make like Tiger King that way. But that would be like the only thing that we could do. And then, like I said, we do have Ash here. Ash and the Cento, which is set. And then, again, we do have a Tinky for a follow-up. So even though this is one of the more weaker hands, we definitely do have some crazy follow-ups that we can do, which this deck kind of does struggle with. Greetings from Italy. Greetings, my man. Thank you for your support. I'm glad you're enjoying the content. I think ciao is the right way to say hi in Italian. Ciao. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying to learn different languages. But hey, if you guys want to become members, I think we're 1 away from what does jokingly mean in the U community? I do, but do you? Jokingly is a Triff pun because Triff practically admitted to cheating, and then he got banned. So ever since then, he will, whenever he says something, he says jokingly afterwards, or that just become a meme in the community. So that whenever you do something that's illegal or something, you say jokingly, so that's implied that you didn't do it on purpose. I think. If chat, correct me if I'm wrong. Have to. I jokingly got banned, which means that he, or I stalled for time. I stalled for time. Jokingly stalled for time. You didn't purposely do it. It just happened that way. I think it's a Triff pun that got started since he's got banned. So yeah, he technically it's a video. You could probably still find it. He admits to purposely slow playing, and Konami watches Yu-Gi-Oh content. So Konami caught that and banned him. So then after that, he had to it was like a huge ordeal. I feel kind of bad for the guy in a way, you know. There's just a few things you just don't admit to doing on camera. You don't admit to murder on camera, jokingly, or admit to robbing a bank on camera, you know? You don't, you just, oh goodness, come on. There we go. You just don't admit to slow playing on camera. I guess let's go ahead and see our first hand here. I summon Cowboy, burn for 400, install for 15 minutes, joking. Yeah. That's like, what is it? Whenever I go like a normal summon, connector, summon dolphin, look at the hand, rip a hand trap, burn for 5, I'll be like, then that's time in the round, and I'll extend a handshake, and they're just like, they're not amused, because most of the time it's their one hand trap in their hand. They're practically salty that I was able to rip it. But I think it's hilarious. So this hand is not cash money. Not cash money at all. Liang Peak. Let's see here. I need a counter here. Let's see what we can do, boys. Let's see what we can do. Normal. That'll get us one counter. Link into Almirage. Raven Effect. We'll grab us. Do we grab 10th? No, it really don't matter what we grab, because we already had normal summon. We still have combo if this was Elephant. I think this hand's just unplayable, and that's one of the few bad sides about Fire Fist, as it's not like your typical combo deck where everything's kind of generic. You have to have like particular 1 and 2 card, 3 card combos. I mean, even if we set this, we can't really do much of anything, to be honest with you. We could normal summon the Buffalo, and that's really kind of it. Sad life, yo. That is a real sad life. If we had one more, I believe we could summon Dragon, yeah, discard, or send for cost, summon back, make Eagle, and then kind of like at least have Eagle. But yeah, I don't think that we can do it. I think that's a bad hand. That's all right. We were getting some good. To be really good, you need to play Altergeist, boy. To be the best, you must. What's the saying? The new saying? It's like, forget combo, resort to monkey, or something like that. Or like, I forget what it is. Come on, chat, help me out. It's like, forget combo, resort monkey, or retract to monkey. I cannot remember, but it's pretty funny regardless. Let's see here. Red Resonator, Ash Blossom. Man, we are seeing... See, these are my OG Ashes. I used to have OG Secret Desires, but they disappeared. And I specifically remember never... Like, some things, I'm not going to lie, some things that disappear, I sell and forget, or they're in bulk and I forget. But I had Secret Desires that I was never going to sell because the way that I even acquired them was like a blessing. My brother in Kentucky, he's a cop. There was another lady cop whose boyfriend was leaving her. So she sold, like, he was collecting Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and my brother's like, she just gave them to me, you want me to send them to you? And I was like, yeah, whatever, they're probably old. And there was just a few from, like, that set that Pot of Desires came out, and the last 2 cards in the entire thing was 2 Secret Desires. So I held on to them, and now they're just kind of missing. Well, we'll go ahead and go here. Sentensu. But first learn to be the master of altar, guys. D-Ziff. Yeah, D-Ziff, he was a master of it, that's for sure. Go Tinky. Then we can grab ourselves. Or... I think that's the way to go. You should rely... So it is very hard for me. So I want to release my own line of sleeves. Like, I guess since now, here's a perfect time for another story time. So I'm not going to incriminate or speak badly, so just nobody go around to this company. So I reached out to Imperium Duelist about a year ago, or maybe 2 years ago, to be sponsored by them because I always use their product. And they're like, yeah, we'll sponsor you. And then I never heard back from them. So then I reached out again, and they're like, hey, sorry, things got crazy. You know, I'm like, you're a company, I get it, no big deal. And they're like, yeah, we'll gladly we'll give you a discount code, which is what I wanted because I was using their product and people were asking me. So I was like, hey, I want to get you guys. So they're like, yeah, we'll send you something. Well, a month went by, and all of a sudden, none of these are nothing against these content creators either. Shire YuGiOh posted something. I'm now sponsored by Imperium Duelist. And I'm like, okay, no big deal. I'm still waiting. Pack got sponsored by Imperium Duelist. And at this point, this was like another few weeks later. I was kind of getting a little salty. I was like, what? Why is all these, like, they were still smaller than me currently, and they were getting these sponsorships. And I was like, what's going on? So then I shot them an email, and I was like, hey, what's going on? Is it something on my end, something on your end? You said that you're going to give me a code that I give to my viewers and all this stuff, and you haven't yet, but I noticed you're giving it to other content creators, and they never got back to me. So then that's where the journey of making my own mats and everything kind of came from, was that after, like, they just practically ghosted me, and then shortly after that, House of Champs talked about them on their live streams and how they do bad business practices, and that's one thing that they're known for. I kind of was upset, so I've technically boycotted Imperium Duelist, and I was like, well, if they're not going to sponsor me, I'll sponsor myself, and I just started investing a lot of time and effort into... Charles, can you sponsor me, Imperium Duelist? Maybe months past them. Yeah. So after that, I was like, screw them, I'll sponsor myself. Or, you know, that Thanos theme is, I'll do it myself. So then I just started on the long journey, and to be honest with you, not a lot of creators or other companies will help you. I had to figure out how to produce my own mats by myself. I had to figure out how to do my own shirts and everything. And I still haven't figured out, for the life of me, how to do my own card sleeves, because any company that I try to talk to about it, they don't want to say, because you gotta remember they're also companies, so they don't want to give out their information or how they're doing it to avoid rivalry. So this might be petty, but I really like Imperium Duelist's solemn hat that says no on it. But since I refused to buy from Imperium Duelist, I was like, I'll make my own. So I'm in the current process of making my own hat, which will be the Team COG logo, of course, on top of it. But the Team COG logo is not just for me; it's for everybody. Remember, Team COG is not a place. It's a people. Effect. I guess double ash is not the best, but go here, then we can send this with that to get herself that. So yeah, that's a little story time with Charles. A little bit of motivation for everyone out there. If you don't get sponsored, sponsor yourself. The best investment you can ever make is in yourself. So always take the time and take the effort to do stuff like that. Go right here. Oh, I shouldn't have added this. Why did I... Shoot, I don't even know what the correct thing to do was there. Tukes. I don't even know what we could add. We could technically add... Dome. That's what we should add. Oh, then order a playmat from you and not from Duelist, since they asked. No. Oh, thank you, Broke Duelist. But I would not say that. Like I said, I did not. The intention of that story was not to, like, bring down, because the quality that they make is phenomenal. Like, their products are really good. A Crusadio wind-up deck. I don't know. I don't know. But if you do choose to buy mats and stuff for me, I do truly appreciate it. I do. Like I said, I like the products. For like I said, I was rocking. Do you organize your binders in a specific way? Currently doing mine. I was thinking, what's the coolest way to do it? I'll kind of showcase you real quick, like one of my binders. Uh, let's go ahead and just put this on hold here. Lose my train of thought, but this is like my current binder that was given to me by BCW as a review. Highly recommend checking them out. They are one of the few companies that did actually reply to me and gave me a sponsorship and stuff like that. Use the code COG5 on their website if you want to like get 5% off. But also Equimax sticker on the website as well. But let's see here. Let's just kind of move everything here out of the way so that I can show you the way that I show my binder. Let's just go ahead and get that up there. BCW does. I was not a fan of their sleeves as like so Gus Man in my comments, he's one of my local boys. I was not a fan of their sleeves, but like their deck boxes and their binder I really like. I really cannot lie. Move everything kind of up here, get everything kind of out of the way so we can get it here. So this is kind of like how I have mine organized. I just want a mat which looks amazing, and the Infernoble one does. Plus chain zones. I will do my best to do that probably later down the road on like another re-release of it. But this is kind of how I do mine. Like I put like archetypes together, and then there's like random parallel seeds there. But like I try my best to keep like archetype or themes together, so to say. Don't forget members. That is right. Dark Crusader is right. Members get a 15% discount code. And like here's Dream Mirrors, one of my favorite TCG exclusive decks that sadly just suck. There's my OGers just hanging out here too. And then like random effect trailers. I just kind of do like monster spell and traps and kind of organize depending on jank and like, you know, the deck core essentially. I try to keep hand traps together. Here's my extra gear Freeds, Phantasmaze, Plunder Patrol, which is another one of my low-key favorite decks, is the Plunder Patrol. Charles on the back. So this mat is actually inspired by Black Clover. There was a Black Clover concept art of Asta with his demon sword, and I sent that to my guy Midnight Dreams, and I was like, can you do this, but have it Charles instead? And he's like, say no more, and there you go. And then like after I get through like the deck cores, I always have like the links, which is kind of how you do it. Pick this up at the box tournament. This is actually pretty cool. It's a Japanese, I believe. Yep, Japanese lib, which is really cool. So sadly the sleeves are not the best. I think they're not as tight fitting, and that's what an issue is. But everything else, and see, that's like that's what they ask. They really do. Like I talked to the owner. He's like, tell me what is wrong with said sleeves so that we can get this input and fix them. And that's like truly what a company should do. And so hopefully that they'll make a second wave. They'll be a little bit tighter fit. But this is my links. I was about ready to buy Dragoons or Dragoonity, and then I realized how much like Barca is, like $50. I was like, hard pass. So if they slaughter my boys Infernobles, I'll probably move to this deck. I'll pay the $100 to play Dragoonity. And this is just kind of, I have links. Links here, my Satellar Knights, just waiting for support. I have like a max rarity Satellar Knight core. I also have almost max rarity Constellars, like the secret Pleiades and everything. But they could be dual terminal, I guess. But I don't have like a lot by any. I miss her. 100% miss her. But this is kind of how I have mine organized. Synchros. I will be using these guys in the Infernoble combo here near the end. Fusions, as you guys can see, I'm not much of a fusion guy, but actually, since you say, is this a monster only binder? It sure is. It's main cores. I have my spell and trap, which I'll showcase here. I just need to buy another binder to get that to match. But my Satellar Knight core is all signed by famous YouTubers, believe it or not. Are you buying Ghost Rares from Ghost of the Past? So no, I will not be buying Ghost Rares, most simply because there's not a Ghost Rare that I want bad enough. The only Ghost Rare that I kind of want is the Crystal Wing. So I will probably just be buying the Starry Knights and just going from there. I might buy like, like a a box of it so I can showcase you guys on the channel or like open it here on Livestream for you guys. But other than that, I'm not going to just be buying the ghost rares. So all my Satellar Knights are signed by famous YouTubers. I got to remember here. So we have the Nebs are signed by YuGiOh. Phoenix Flare signed my Altairs. The Hulk Imcol 40 signed my Unicalais. And then Team Sam signed my Common Vegas. So, yeah, and then I'll pull up my spell and traps real quick for you guys. Just, and then I have a spell and trap. Do you think Starry Knight can do something when they come out, or we just have to wait for more? Starry Knight, so they do one thing, and that's summon Dragon Pop, and then technically you have to, like, resort to Monkey and play a bunch of floodgates and traps to slow the game down to your speed. But I do think they will be able to do something. I mean, as I was saying, like if I explain to you what they do without using the name Starry Knight, I practically describe to you like Altergeist. And everyone who thinks Altergeist is bad clearly does not remember when that deck was like tier 1. But like this is like my spell and traps. I have like all these like spellbook cards because before Dogmatica was supposed to be, was before Dogmatica was like $300 just to play. I just got these. I'm just asking about the updated Crystal list, or is there anything changed? Really, nothing has changed, to be honest with you. I've actually kind of moved on from the deck simply because there's not really, until like we get more support that is not Hulk, there's not much the deck can really do. It still can sync on the opponent's turn, but again, like one hand trap, one hand trap is kind of like all it takes. But it is fun. No problem, man. I like answering. Then I just have like, a lot of the Plunder Patrol. Then I have the Dream Mirror stuff. I just looked at the time and noticed that I'm already watching 45 minutes. Yeah, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Then we got like random stuff like an extra Leaning Peak, Chaos Space, Gold Sark, Salvage, Defissure, Danger, some Infernoble stuff that I like to have. Just kind of Gallatin is a searchable out to window. Arphadir Tier is a searchable way to start popping back row. Forbidden Chalice, Forbidden practically cheap. No Spice for Crystal has crossed your mind. No, not really. There was a potential. I think there was a list that did cross my mind, but all they did was it was more on the scrap side where they're playing like Scrap Raptor and stuff like that because you could play that, but I didn't want to play that. Cosmics, 3 visits. This is now we're moving on to kind of like my Ancient Warrior kind of stuff together. Tensus, Fire Formations, Borrowing Arrows, random shenanigans, Signet Minings, next are Guard Dragon, the Waterfronts that I played. Everyone has forgot about the OG Noble Knights. They really have. Then, like, you move on to my traps, which is right here. We just have, of course, Barrier, Boot, Stellar Nova Alpha, Lost Winds, more Boots. There can be only ones. Jar of Avarice, nothing like too crazy. My Imperms are in here till Starry Knight comes out. Plunder Patrol, Dream Mirror, etc. Then I have one Dogmatica Punishment. I'm going to be competing in a lot more remote dual local so I can hopefully get my play set. These will probably be put into the Starry Knights too. I'm like, I'm the only person that would spend like that money on such a deck to make it halfway decent. Then since this binder is like so big, it's one of those big monster binders, I have another archetype. I have like my Ancient Warrior archetype back here. And then I have like Mathmex put away back here as well. And I believe that is it for this binder. Yeah, I think that's it. I do have like a small binder, like a really tiny one that I want to start collecting a little bit more expensive cards or like unique cards and put in. This is what I would call like the Team COG Bible. But right now, the only thing that's in it is like my OG original Crusadia cord because all my Crusadias are in German. So before we got confirmed to use the Numeron app, I carried this with me for translations. That's practically it. And then I have like there's a German, extra token, Dawn Dragster. I just need to and at the very this right here was a pulled Gladiator Beast Vespis. If you guys can see the names kind of like scratched out a little bit, this was pulled like this. So I've just kept it since. I doubt it's even worth anything, but it's cool. And then at the very end, I have like my field centers. I have like YuGiOh Day Field Center that I won at 4th place. I have this World Championship Field Center I think that you get. My OG Crusadia Field Center that was made to me by my locals here. Syrian Beacon. I used to play the Rescue Cat a long time ago, and then I just moved away from it because you normal summon and anything happens to it, you lose. I haven't thought about playing it in Guard Dragon variants because like you just want it, Waterfront just does better than a Rescue Cat. You'd rather see the Waterfront. And then right here is Siegfried from this is one of the field centers that I made back when I was making them. Siegfried. A lot of internal lung damage that I got from breathing in acetone. What do you think about the Machina archetype? Nice sleeve. Yep. Old sleeve. Very old. Machina archetype. Machina. I actually like it. Like that's one of the few decks I kind of do enjoy. I kind of watch it because I don't want to get blindsided by that strategy, which is the dozer control. So I've been kind of keeping track of it. I just don't want to end up getting whacked by it. I just truly like it kind of blows my mind the deck wins because like I've watched so many people resolve that draw 2 combo and not draw any traps, and it practically just is a grindy deck. That's how the deck wins. Is it outgrinds everything, and that blows my mind. So we'll go ahead and do one more test hand here, and then I'll whip out the nobles and showcase the Dopple warrior combo here. Yep, Citadel control. That's dozer control, Citadel control. Citadel is a crazy card. But that's what I think Sun Avalon will turn into, kind of. It'll turn into the plant control, very close to how, like, Earth Machines did. So we'll go ahead and cut here. Let's see our hand. We drew 6 cards instead. So, wowzers. So going second, it's pretty rough. I don't think we'd be able to play into a board with this hand personally. And we just don't have the powerful extensions, etc. Why not get one of the limited binders from Jim for personal collection? So I'm a very OCD type of guy. I have been using Ultimate Guard stuff, except for right now. Like, this is, of course, a Jim. Hi, my first time here. Welcome. Welcome. Glad you could make it. Hopefully this will not be just your first time. I'm just a very linear guy. I really like Ultimate Guard, so if I do buy another one, I'll probably buy Ultimate Guard. I'm very OCD with like the stuff I use. But Jim does produce a lot of good stuff as well. I actually supported Jim. That was one of the Kickstarters for their deck boxes. I enjoyed them that much. I sold my Mortifier for I think like $75 or something like that. It really is. It kind of blows my mind that they released that in a structure deck, right? But then like everything else after that, like Gearfried and then the Dragoonity cards are getting kind of cheeked out of their structure deck and put in like core sets, you know? 1, 2, 3. Oh boy, 4, 5. You hate to see it. You truly do hate to see it. Let's see here. We'll go Tensu. Let's see what we can even do with this hand. Tensu, normal, effect, sack. Summon this. Shuffle this back. I think this is one of those hands where we go for Panda. I think. Let's overlay for that. Effect of that to add Tensu, or add Tinky, set Tinky, activate Tinky, grab herself Dragon. Oh, maybe we don't want to grab Dragon. Maybe we want to grab Raven. Might be the best option to do. Sorry, I haven't been active watching between this and new horror series I've gotten into. Hey, man, I hear you. I've been watching, we got Discovery Plus, so I've been watching Mountain Monsters, Ghost Adventures. What do you guys think about that? For Halloween this year, we do a special Team COG, not Yu-Gi-Oh related, but we go to a haunted hotel that is known to be haunted in my area, and your boy, me, and then we take Goofy Ferg, and we go ghost hunting. What do you think of that? Yeah, you were right. Conductor type. Tyranno go burr. Nothing matches Tyranno. So I gotta think what we do. We go here. Link these guys here. To Eagle. Eagle effect to bounce back. Well, 1 second. We do get to set and activate Liam Peak effect to bounce back 10 to Foolish Burial this. So I think what we will do is we will forsake Eland. We will forsake the Eland and just go for try to make the biggest Apollosa we can. So we'll go ahead and activate and not use the effect. We will then use the effect of here to pay cost by sending these two. We then will get 1 counter here. This will activate and summon out all that. Oh no. That won't work that way. Oh man, that stinks. Because this has to be summoned by the effect of a monster. So. Oh man. So let's just think. Let's think. We'll summon here. No, let's not do that. Let's summon here, I believe. See, this is why we need Fire Fist need like a level 5 that XYZ is on top of like Tiger King or something, and then its effect is like, if it's summoned this way, it can't use its effect this turn, but it's a quick effect that during the next turn it can bounce, like it can pulse a fire formation, and then a monster your opponent controls for cost. You know, that'd be kind of cool. Opponent activates Solemn Judgment and doesn't realize that there's only 15 seconds left. Hey, you hate to see it, but if you're not the one activating it, you love it. Okay, so I gotta think here. Do I just do like a Trident play? Try to put like Trident? I think that's what I do. I think I try to just go Trident. We go Trident. And then we activate this. Don't use the effect. Fire off Panda. Panda then brings back... Oh, shoot. Yeah, this is not no good. This hand was kind of butched. But I mean, we're doing the best that we can with what we were given. For sure. Effect to add. Man, that kind of stinks. Wow, that does... It's kind of rough, I think. And then we'll use the effect to set Cento. Do you play any zoos with Fire Fist main deck monsters? I do not. If Barrage was still at, if Barrage was at 3, 100% I was. I was actually looking into a list that would play that. Okay, so this would be up to 4. And I think this affects 6 or more I get to add. So I'll go ahead and set that. We will go ahead and link these two into Peacock to make this 5. Use the effect to pop Engine. Engine will add back the Panda. And then during the opponent's turn, we have the ability to pop something with Trident. And then like when we fire this off, because we have Liam Peak, we can fire off the Panda again, and Panda can then reborn this. This will get us an ad. This right here is just like one of those grindy hands where we're just not going to be... If they plow through all of this, we still have a solid follow-up, because then we get to add ourselves another elephant, of course. And this will go up to, like, of course, 6. So then we will be able to add to... Well, we have a... I feel like IP would have been an easy interruption. Nova, my man, welcome, welcome, welcome. IP, I guess technically we could have turned... Actually, you are very correct now that I think about it. That's actually really good, Nova. Man, shows up and brings some knowledge down. Instead of making the Trident, we could have made IP, and then we could have linked for like an Apollosa on the opponent's turn. And all we would have to do is like keep Eagle live to keep the Cento live, and we could have made like an IP for 4. If we wanted to, yeah. You know you've done your opponent leaves everything away and has one last card in their extra deck and then summons Buster Whelp. That is terrifying. I for one don't think that card should have been brought back. Because as we can see, it has done nothing. That's actually pretty good, Nova. I'm glad you popped in. I'm glad I actually saw that message, because sometimes I get 8 away. IP would be a pretty solid card to put in the extra deck. I think currently my extra deck is these guys. Let's just go ahead and go here. There we go. So currently, we're playing these 2 right here. Get this out of the glare, darn light. We're playing 2 of these. We are playing technically 2 Tiger King, 1 of that, and then Shock and Trident, Dweller. We're rocking 2 of these, 1 of these, Almirage, App, certain that. True. From what I saw, you could have special summoned it with those 2 other monsters that use Trident to pop the link it off with IP for a unicorn. Yep, you're absolutely right. Could you play Triber? Yes, you can, but I said it. I said in the very beginning of the video that I'm not a fan of the Tri Brigade Firefest because it's just a Tiger King loop strategy. And if that variant was so good, it would be one of the best variants. That's the reason why it's not, is because it does have some major inconsistencies. But you can, honestly, you can. There is a deck list that my members were talking about. It's like Fire Fist with like Ancient Warrior and then Tri Brigade. It's pretty crazy, actually. I think, to be honest with you, as much as I love Omen, I never really go into him. I could potentially cut Omen for an IP, and then maybe cut a Fire Fist Tiger King for Unicorn. Because since I'm not doing the Tiger King loop, I'm not making a lot of... I'm only making 1 normally. So I could technically do that and add in Unicorn and stuff. But, yeah. I would take out Abyss Dweller, but Dweller is very great. Yeah, and since like the deck, like if you can establish Dweller pretty easy, especially when you're not locked into by Panda, you can really put up a Dweller pretty easy. And then like your ending board is normally like Eagle, Elan, Dweller plus Cento. That's still pretty good. Or it's like Eagle, App for 3, Dweller, Cento. It's pretty cool. But we'll go ahead and run into and try to showcase the Dopple Warrior combo right now. Show me how to set 2 Fog Blades with this. I don't know how you would. All right, so the way you set 2 Fog Blades Dark Crusade is you open them, because all this it revolves around Fire Beast Warrior, so it's going to be kind of rough to make a Rusty for sure, but definitely doable. All right. Okay, so Dopple Warriors here. I actually need to pull out my... Yeah, you would definitely need the Codebreaker package, but you could do it. I'll do my best to try and remember the combo that the Worst Duelist showed. But I do think all that we need is these 2 extra cards in your extra deck. That is all that you need. And we will go ahead and showcase the combo now. So for all this combo, all you need, the Codebreaker combo, is you must see Olivier. That's the one reason why I'm not a big fan of this combo, is that you have to see Olivier. If you don't see that Tuner Extender, and it has to be Olivier, the combo is very weak, and you don't get to Metal Marcher. But we'll go ahead and showcase the combo anyway. It's just 2 warriors plus Olivier. So you just normal summon your warrior, or you make your 2 warriors, whether you normal, special, etc. It does not matter. You just get them out. So then Aqua Dolphin. I mean, I'm still trying to learn. I hear Draco Sack is a really cool combo. I'm still trying to learn it, but I do not want to play the PKs at all because I'm not a fan of that in this in Infernobles. So I'm just trying to keep it as pure as possible. You then link summon here, and this combo is very self-contained, I should say. Link here. Use the effect on summon to add. Go ahead and just grab herself the Olivier. You then use Isolde's effect and pay cost. So I would send DDR and very similar to like you'd summon Gimba, right? So instead of summoning Gimba, you summon Dopple Warrior. And then you banish the 2 warriors here to grab yourself this. And then you, 1 second, gotta shuffle up here. You use Oliver's effect, activate it, pitching Living Fossil summon. It becomes a level 1 tuner. You then synchro here for Metal Marcher, and then you get 2 tokens off of the Dopple Warrior, and we'll bring back this. Now, you then, I think the tokens are, so some $2 level 1. So then, I gotta remember here. Okay, so this is like the basic of the combo right here. So level 1, 3 tuner. I think that you do these guys here into Hulk. So these are level 1. You make Coral Dragon. I'd have to check it out. So 1, and I don't think you synchro all of them. This is 4, actually. 4, 5, 6. Okay, yeah. I forgot. You sync these guys off into this, and then this right here becomes Hulk. And then Hulk summons out Despot. Excuse me if I'm not too familiar with the combo, guys, but this is just kind of the basic of it, kind of. In a way, this is what I'm remembering. Like I said, check out The Worst Duelist. He will be able to tell you a little bit more. You summon out Despot, and this become this. You then turn that into the big silly plane, the Auroradon. Auroradon gives you 3 tokens, and this comes back. And then what you can do here is pretty, I think it's pretty crazy. I think you go here and here. I think you go here and here, and you make Charles, and you draw a card. Lucky draw, but it don't matter what you draw, it's irrelevant. And then you go, so like even here, I don't even know the extent of this, truly I don't know, but like even right here, you can hard make Charles. These are 3, so you can make 7, go for Power Tool. But I don't even know if that's even worth it. So, do you think Crusadia and board Griffin Firewall is better than your own current Crusadia list? To be honest with you, it was Flexi was just devising and stuff like that. So it's just a cool concept that you can do, and it is very consistent, and the deck can do it. My current list is not designed to go first, but I would say that the current list is more for sure. Like, I can tell you that I can get to Apollosa for 2 and an Equimax consistently versus, like, depending on draws and stuff. But Flexi did, like, 20-plus test hands. Do you get salty when you pass and your opponent OTKs you and you say, let me see what the top deck is? And yeah, that's normal. I normally just refuse to. I always lose to a top deck, so I refuse to look at my own top deck. So this is kind of like the basics of the Dopple Warrior combo. But I'm trying to figure out what you can do. We can use, like, this effect. Send 2, summon back, Coltwing. Coltwing will then summon 2 tokens. Maybe we send the 2 tokens and summon out Coltwing. Coltwing then. Oh shoot! Maybe we should have made the Power Tool Dragon, but I guess we could technically do that here. We go here for, and here for Power Tool. And then Power Tool effect. I really don't know what I'm doing, guys, at this point. To be completely honest with you, I'm not entirely sure. But I'd have to rewatch his video again to show you guys, but that's practically the gist of it. The gist of it is that on the you must open Oliver in hand, and it's 2 warriors plus Oliver, and it's self-contained, and you just need to have these 3 extra cards in your deck. He knows how to do it, but that's kind of the gist of it for my man Salvage, who was interested in it. You just need to just normal this, special this, make his old, and just have this guy to turn it into Metal Marcher, and then Metal Marcher brings back. But if you happen to, if that's your target and your only target, so here's my argument with that is if that's your only target in the deck is Dopple, Dopple is dead if you happen to play, like, it's dead. There's no other tuner extender that summons itself except for Oliver, so if you don't open Oliver and you arguably play 9 Oliver, you will not, see it. You will not be able to do this combo. So you always have to play another like Gimba in the deck, but at that point you're playing this card as an additional brick in your hand. So I mean, and I guess okay. So when a monster is special summoned from the graveyard, except your notice that you can special summon this card. So it's not entirely a brick too because it can summon itself. It does act pretty much is an extender. If you use as soon as you fire off Living Fossil, you can summon it. As soon as Balmug resolves, you can summon it. But if you do that, you're losing spaces anyway. So the only optimal moment to use it is if you have space when making the Gimba play to Monster Reborn. But other than that, I'm not a huge fan of it. It was pretty promising at first because I thought like, wow, you can just kind of like do a lot of crazy things. But I think that the list is just a little bit better without it. Jordesicola, Gimba, and 2D. That is unfortunate. I have drawn all 3 of those before, but conveniently I draw 2 warriors, and then you just kind of do, which the video will be up tomorrow, I believe, which will showcase you what happens when you open with Coltwing. But it has happened, and it does suck. It really doesn't feel too good to happen. It just does not feel too solid to do. But I guess for those who are curious, this deck is nuts. I highly recommend playing this deck. This deck is quite crazy. My favorite deck currently to play right now. Except for when this happens. Wowzers. 3 Heritage of the Chalice. That is ridiculous. But I actually have seen that FTK. It's pretty cool, I'm not going to lie. I would never play it because I believe that I'm not, it's not crazy good, but it is good. But we still have combo here. We can go Durandal. Or not Durandal, Chalice, grab ourselves. I think we'd go for, not even Renaud. We'd go for Ogier, I believe. Normal Ogier and Foolish Burial. I don't even know what way Foolish Burial, to be honest with you. Renaud? I don't even know. But then, like we do, we can pitch this, summon this, do combo, and cry because we happen to have 2 dead cards in our hand. Told you guys this deck was consistent. You'll see all 3 of your Rhodas in the opening hand. It does be like that. All right. Metal Silver again. Ash Blossom. I must have not shuffled that well. That's crazy. But I guess this is better because we do have an Ash Blossom, I guess. But this is practically the same hand. That is crazy. We're going to do a pretty good power shuffle here. Make sure that does not happen again. All right. Cut. All right. DDR, Driver, Rhoda, Olivier, and Chalice. Now this hand's pretty busted, even if we did see this right here. Oh, goodness. I don't even know where to begin. Fire off Rhoda. Grab us the connector. Let's see here. You can normal connector effect. Summon Dolphin. And right here, guys, we already have the ability to do practically something crazy. Open bricks with all the bricks in the deck. Sees hand starts to have mental breakdown. Shows opponent has PTSD flashbacks to breaking. PTSD. So like even here we can pitch this, and this is one of those hands to where we see the hand. And if we see Imperm or the rock, it's pretty. I mean, it's pretty easy what we like. You know what we do. You can go ahead and reveal Oliver, pitch DDR, summon. This right here is third summon. You can go Chalice to add Renaud, special Renaud. This is 4 summons. Add back the DDR. And then you can do whatever. You can turn these 2 here into a... I prefer you make your spacing a little bit better. Don't do what I did. Definitely do that. Put whatever... I guess it didn't matter. We could have done it that way too. And then put your Herald out. And then now you have successfully been able to play around Nibiru and Imperm that way. Then you just make Isolde here. And then... You're golden. You're very well golden. That's what I mean. Like, this deck can play around so many, like, it can play around hand traps so differently. Like, that was, like, 3 cards, technically. Almost 3 cards that we can play with. But, like, the best 2-card combo to play around hand traps, except for Imperm, will be Ogier and Durandal, 100%. This is my favorite 2-card combo in the deck, and I always hate seeing this combo, and I get so happy. I'm like, woohoo, I got the combo, because it's, like, one of my favorite combos. But then you also open Connector. So you're like, ooh, which way do I go? And so, like, that's something else that people have said, that, like, if you Lancy this deck, they can't banish off a Phoenix Blade. And I'm like, we don't even care. Like, Isolde is a free ad, so, like, we really get stuff back. So, like, the Lancy doesn't even matter. One thing that I would say, though, that people are going to say Droll hurts this deck a lot, and I can tell you wholeheartedly that Droll is a little bit more of a hindrance than it is a problem. If you get Drolled if you truly fear the Droll, you have so many cards that you can get Drolled on, but if depending on your hand, if you truly fear it, all you do is simply just make sure your only search is the power tool, and then once they get Droll you there, it's already over. You've already got full combo. But if you do get Drolled and you're forced to make power tool, I wouldn't even make power tool that moment. I'd probably pivot into like Riser Dragon and then try to do some crazy wonky combos that way. Let's see here. Let's do a quick hand. Let's just do like something like this. Let's just do Connector and see what happens here. So we normal summon the Connector. We get the Dolphin. Argue, like, that's irrelevant because we'd see the Droll and rip it out. I mean, that's just... We'd see the Droll and rip it. So, you know, no, they have 2 Drolls. They're good at the game and they have 2 Drolls. And we didn't open, like, another extender, so we could rip both Drolls. All right. It does not matter. We see Droll, we rip it. Yada, yada, 2 Warriors, Link. But if you see they have a Droll, again, you're not going to activate Isolde and walk into it. Unless you have to, but let's, you know, for the sake of the video, for the sake of the live stream, we don't really have Droll. Let's go and add ourselves. Probably you would not play into it, so you would probably add Gearfried here. And then they go Droll. You go, oh boy. Oh boy. Or what's the thing? Gee! They got Droll. So then you just Foolish Burial, Phoenix Blade, and a DDR. Or no. Well, it doesn't matter, really. You can Foolish Burial, because you're not going to get the ad. You can just go ahead and do these 2. Grab yourself Gimba. And then we just do the whole shebang here. Under Droll, which is perfectly fine. Make Hulk. Our boy Hulk will bring out Despot 0/0. Despot 0/0 and Hulk transform into the big silly plane, which will be right there, giving us these 3, and then Despot comes back. So then, I'm thinking here, we can go here. Yeah, so then you just go here for... See, we're playing no extenders after, so do take note that if you do have, like, an extender, which could be DDR, any, like, so many extenders in the deck, you can end on Charles. This is just bare bone, nothing. Herald, effective DDR, or effective Auroradon, tribute these 2, to summon here. This will summon here. Bring it back this. These guys right here turn into Riser Dragon. Riser Dragon sends Ash Blossom to become a level 4. Riser and Coltwing become Savage. Savage effect to equipped Hulk. There you go. That's with playing with technically one card in our hand. We can still put out this right here. Result summon Aqua Dolphin to play around hand traps even more. So in theory, I've actually done this. I done this last night, and I was able to put up. I think it was it'd be if Dark Crusade's still in the chat. It was against him on remote. I think I was able to put up Charles and Harold. All you got to do is so let's just give myself 2 warriors, and we'll go that way. It's definitely an awkward line of play, but we'll just do these 2 right here. So you don't see Aqua Dolphin. And you have to, that's true, you have to open a tuner extender. So the best tuner extender, of course, would be Renaud. Let's just go ahead and give ourselves Oliver. You have to open a tuner extender to do that play, because Isolde's what you normally get for your thing. So you special red, special here, link into Isolde, wherever she may be. Isolde. Once you make Isolde, you just use the effect to add. We'll go ahead and add Gearfried. You use the effect, you will Foolish Burial 1. I say 2, 3. You then summon out Dolphin. You then can pitch Gearfried if you want to look at the hand. Then you can banish. I would say at this point you banish these 2, just so that you can further turn. You can grab a DDR and bring it back. Add this. Reveal, pitch to summon. And then you synchro these guys right here into Hulk, which is right here at the very end. Hulk brings back out the Despot, which I believe we have right here. You then turn the... So, like, it definitely really, truly depends what you want to do. Have you ran into Ash when using Hulk yet? So, yes and no. Believe it or not, in one of the testing videos against World Chalice, I had a really good hand, and I did not respect that he had Ash, and I had the hand to do this combo and rip Ash before I made Hulk, and I didn't. I ate the Ash. So, ever since... But most cases, you're able to play through, or you're able to see the hand to stop him. So, this is... Interesting. Okay, so you go here. I gotta remember. Then you summon out 1, 2, 3. Despot comes back. You then turn these into... Let's see. Do we go power? I think we go power tool is what we gotta go. Go power tool, grab living fossil, and then we use Auroradon to tribute these 2 to summon here. We get here. Yeah, so here we go. And then you take these guys and you turn them into Riser. You use Riser effect to send Gimba. So he becomes a level 4. I think. Yeah, he becomes level 4. So then we can go Living Fossil here. Andre, I don't think there's a replacement for Equimax and Crusade. The closest thing I've ever said. I think. Really, you cannot replace Equimax. I hate to see it. No problem, man, Andre. Appreciate your support. There is really not appreciate. Thank you for the super chat. I just noticed. I appreciate you guys. There's not really a replacement for it. So like you go here and then bada ba. You can really. It's difficult to do, I guess. And also remember we are playing with just the bare bone minimum. We can go here and make Roland. Roland can then add. The only thing I'm trying to think. The only thing different that we could have done is, and then these two make Charles, then you have like a Charles. The only thing different that we could have done, let's back it up here to, this is in hand. This is not, this is in deck yet. You have these guys. We could potentially go here for Herald, I think. We then can go and make a Savage, but I mean, that's not, Herald and Savage is still possible. Hello, Jan, how you doing? We then can go Living Fossil, bring this back. Then we could go 7. We could still then go technically here for a 7. We could still make this guy. We could, and just so everyone does know, you definitely could in that scenario. You also could have put up Savage, Herald, and then had 2 out there. That is very possible. But I enjoy Charles. I think Charles is a phenomenal card, and I think that it's hard to beat Charles. So that's why I'm always going for Charles. Almost perfect. I'm doing my best. I'm learning. And then use the effect here to send Gimba. He becomes a level 5, 5, and 4. Become Charles. And then, so then earlier in our combo, we sent DD. So like then during the, we use Olivier to equip here. We could have probably sent DDR earlier. We could have definitely, more than likely, sent Metal Silver Armor instead. It's just very and we didn't know what we were truly going to get to. And that's one thing about the deck you kind of got to learn and stuff like that. Like, once you get the deck down, like I've even told you guys, I am not that great. Gimba is not necessary to run. There are different combo strings and different combos that people play that don't use Gimba. But Gimba, in my opinion, is just another Fire Warrior that allows you to proc Renaud. And it's just so straight-lined. It's kind of, So I die, so see ya, and have an Infernoble of a day. Thank you, my man, you too. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you for being here. So we could have probably sent that, but we didn't, which is okay. In phase, we can equip the Durandal to get a follow-up for the next turn, and then equipped Ogier from the deck here. So that's like with playing, for those who are just chiming in, and for those who don't know, this is playing with sending 3 for Dolphin instead of sending 2 for Gimba, and having a tuner extender to continue on. So you do kind of like end on like a Herald Negate, a Charles Boss Monster, and that was with 3 cards in hand, so technically we have 2 cards, so we could have probably forced out and made a Roland. Maybe, depending on what we have, we could have made a Roland, and then Charles would be a live quick effect, but that's just bare bone minimum of what you can do with having to use Aqua Dolphin. And if we were smart and foresaw this, we actually would have sent the Metal Silver Armor instead at the very beginning, knowing that we're not going to, knowing that we didn't have access to it later on in the combo. We could have sent Metal Silver Armor instead of DDR, so then Charles would have this, so then nothing is targetable, that anything monster, spell, or trap that targets a monster has to target Charles, and nothing can target Charles. So that means they can't just imperm the Herald or something like that. The only bad thing is a lot of people seem to forget that the best way to out Herald is just to go battle phase. And since we don't have a Roland engrave to protect the Herald from battle phase, we'd probably lose. But Charles is sitting at 35. He's already can't be destroyed by battle. He could not be targeted, so he'd be kind of rough to deal with. So yeah, and any more questions for you guys for chat? Any more questions? Questions, comments, or concerns? I am here to please you guys. So if any sort of questions, I guess we better. I think I've reached my limit here. So final shot. Any questions, comments, or concerns before we wrap up the stream here? Couldn't you just use his old summon Oliver or Renaud and then send Gamma shooting? Yep, that is actually what the play that you do. You could summon Oliver, dump. You'd play less amount of bricks, but I don't think that's the power tool variant. I think that is their shooting riser. send Gimba later on or send Gamma, you could definitely do that route. That is 100% a possibility to do that. But that route you don't play Power Tool, I believe. That's more of a pack list thing. Let's see here. I believe, yeah, I'd have to look up packs list, but I think that was the new strategy. You don't play so many bricks, or I wouldn't even call them bricks. So they say that the equips are bricks, but straight up like DDR is not a brick; it is an extender. Same with the living fossil. Even though living fossil is once per turn, DDR is not. So I don't see, and any like extra equip you have is just free discard fodder for Oliver. But it just really depends on what you want to do. So that combo line is not my favorite, I don't think. This deck technically works without the Infernobles, right? Yeah. It definitely could. I mean, 100%. Two warriors, as you just saw, two warriors gets you to like Herald. I think two warriors get you to Charles and Herald, if I remember right. You don't without even using any of the other main deck Infernoble cards. So technically, yeah, it does combo without. You don't need the Infernobles to technically combo. They just help, of course. Is Skipper playable? I would actually say no, because Gamma is back in the format. People are playing Gamma, and as soon as you normal summon Gamma activate effect, if they just go boom, your entire turn's over, which is kind of rough. But hopefully I will get yeah, there's actually so like you don't even need to go to Isolde. Isolde just helps you. They've been actually games where I've been hand trapped so hard, and then like they rock me and they give me the token. I just summon Oliver from hand as a tuner extender plus token, make Hulk, and then combo off that way. And then like, as long as you get to Auroradon, you are 100% able to get to like Charles and Herald or Savage. This deck is not an Isolde deck. This deck is a Hulk deck. So your main goal is to get advantage with Isolde or have Isolde eat all the hand traps and then just successfully resolve Hulk. That's why, sadly, if Hulk ever goes, the deck kind of falls off. But Winter Kills showed a combo where you just play an Ignite Engine. So you would just be putting up like an app for 2 or 3 and then a Charles, which is not awful. But the deck definitely can adapt if Hulk and Auroradon do get hit. So definitely something to consider. Ooh, something that, I mean, the deck has so many different lines of play. You can play Armageddon Knight, Plague Spreader. You could actually play Zoltson 9, summon Nibiru. No Nibiru this time. You could. Wow, this hand's just jacked. Hand is jacked. But like right here, guys, this right here is, well, I would say no. You need, well, these two guys, technically. This or this right here plus this. So like any of these 3 card iterations right here allows us to successfully stop Impermer the Rock. Do you ever preemptively test decks with strategies assuming the card is going to get banned? Sometimes I do. I've actually done that quite a bit with LP. I've preemptively like just been testing without LP, and the deck would still be okay without LP. You just like you could I think Revs cards or the one guy on YuGiTube did a Dragon Link Crusadia Dragon Link deck, and there's a little bit like to me, if you're not ending on Equimax, you're not playing Crusadia. So I would just try to tinker with that list he has to try to put out Equimax before I do all the combos and stuff. But I do. However, so I'm under this very high impression that Hulk is going to be around for quite some time because the OCG still has Hulk. I think the OCG even still has Auroradon, to be honest with you. Correct me if I'm wrong. But Infernobles are not doing anything. Yeah, I got you, my man. How to make Gearfried before 5 summons. It's pretty simple. It can be like practically this, or this, or it can be... the only thing you truly need is Ogier, wherever he may be at. This is my favorite combo. I really want Hulk to get banned so I can have it back. I know, my man. They just bring it back anyway. They really should. Or, you know, make it more generic. So, getting that card back as long as Hulk draws breath. That is sadly very true. As long as Hulk breathes, we will not have it back. But That's the crazy thing, though, is like Konami made Ib know. I think when Hulk was already around, so Konami knew what they were doing when they did that. That's the crazy thing. But to make Gearfried under 5 summons, you just need Ogier plus practically these 2 cards. And the reason I say that, but it also can be Reinforcing Army plus any of these 2 cards because this can get you Ogier. But you can use Chalice to grab you this, but all you do is use your hand to get to this. Practically, that's all you do. Normal summon Ogier, and you Foolish Burial the Mortal Phoenix. I think every live stream I do this actually, so I just have it down to a down now. You do that, you equip Durandal, use Durandal's effect to add yourself Renaud to hand. Then you just go ahead and use Renaud to summon itself, grabbing back the Gearfried. You then banish the Durandal to summon out Gearfried, and then you turn these 2 into Isolde. And I think Isolde is the 4th summon, so depending on what hand traps you're scared of, you don't use the effect to search. So then you use Ogier effect to equip, and then you use her effect to go ahead and send for whatever you want to do. Send 1, send 2, summon out the Gimba, and then there you go. Gimba's your 5th summon, and then you have the ability to negate with the rock. But not just that, any hand trap per se, you have the ability to negate. But that's where kind of, if they have multiple hand traps, you just kind of gotta like, that was 2 cards, so like if they're gonna Ash your Isolde and you have this out on the field, I sometimes won't even, I'll let it go ahead and Ash the effect. I'll just then use my tuner extender from hand, whether it be a Renaud, well, it can't be Renaud because we already used that, but Olivier, if it happens to be Oliver, just summon him out and then combo off into Hulk. You just definitely got to be careful because people are really good at the game. Some people are. Some people will definitely try to force the Gearfried by ashing the Isolde on the send, and then you go ahead and like fire off Gearfried, and then they go Chain Rock, and you're like, cry. Or like the summon resolves, and then they go Chain Rock, and you cry because it's gone. So sometimes it's just worth letting this get ashed if you have the ability to, but sometimes it's gonna be what it's gonna be, and they're going to have the 2 hand traps, and your hand's gonna be weak enough that you have to negate the Ash on the Isolde, and then they just get punished. But I do digress. That is how the game be sometimes. But there you go. That's the typical 2 card Gearfried combo, which is just these 2 cards. And then, like, when you make it, you want to put Gearfried all the way over here. I just didn't because of the glare, a bad glare right there. You make Gearfried over here, and then you just put up Charles and Harold. Pretty easy. Correction. If LP goes, would you play Second Crusadiers over Rescar? I would have to test the list and see what I would do, but currently my list right now is going second, and I worked perfectly fine. There's some fine-tuning that I need to do on the deck, but of course, like I said, like I truly like the going second variant. I've never been against it. I've just always played going first because the deck just, I did not want to like go first, I guess. So I do not know, to be honest with you. I would definitely test it. So do expect if LP does get hit this next list, I definitely will be trying that on stream for you guys so that we can see it together and like theory craft on it for sure. But remember, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get ready to call it off here. But remember, if you guys want to check out more in-depth on the Dopple Warrior combo or like actually what to do, check out The Worst Duelist. Just type him in. You'll see him. He actually released a new profile and stuff like that. But he does do a Dopple Warrior combo, and he goes a little bit more in depth with it than what I was able to remember. And yeah, just remember to comment, like, and subscribe. If you guys want to become members, we have a lovely community. Get yourself some discounts, all that stuff. That card has wormed its way out of Sony Band. LP, yeah, LP survived, man. He's a survivor. But I am also under that weird hypothetical where I believe that LP is being power crept. What LP summons now is not that good. Now the most broken thing that LP summons is EMZ Dragon, the worst duelist. And the only reason that EMZ Dragon is good is because Konami themselves brought back the Whelp. So in hindsight, it's not really LP's fault in a way. If they never brought back Whelp, LP would still be just as powerful as it is. But it's only a matter of time before that card before they release another dragon that's busted. But anyway, we shall see this next list. But yeah, you guys remember to be safe, have a blast, and comment, like, subscribe, become a member. Check out the store if you guys want to. This is Team COG right here signing out. You guys have a wonderful day.